Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-woo! Hump day! Yeah!
All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk with Bill's Retro Gaming Show. We are here for, yes, the second episode of season 2. Some people didn't even think I had a season 1, but I'm here for a second season, a second year. We're back. Yeah, I have to admit that at first I had a little bit of a struggle trying to figure out what I was going to talk about today. But then as I started looking around on the interwebs, trying to find some interesting topics to discuss, I found a bunch of stuff. So I got a few things that I want to go over with you guys tonight, and hopefully we can have some fun. We can enjoy ourselves. Yes, I did look a little down and disheartened on the thumbnail, but that was just me having a little fun with the thumbnail. And yes, where is it? Yes, Mike. News Blues sounds a lot like Blues Clues, something to think about. And yes, I did think about that when I wrote it, and I did it anyway. But guys, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to say hi to everybody in the chat in just a second. But before I do that, I do want to just say a huge shout out and thank you once again to all my guests who were on last week. If you missed it, go back and watch the replay, although it's definitely one of the longer episodes of this show. We went for almost 2 hours because every time I tried to end the show, my guests kept it going. But we had a lot of fun, and hopefully you guys did too. And of course, thank you to everybody in the chat who hung with us, who hung out for the evening, and for the very generous super chats and memberships and everything for my birthday stream last week. It was a lot of fun. You made me feel good, which is always a nice thing on somebody's birthday. So thank you guys for that. But before we go any further, let's say hi to some of the people we've got in the chat here. And yes, I want to say hi to JJ, who was here a little bit earlier, telling me to turn my frown upside down. So that's why I kind of mentioned that in the beginning. We got Dr. Torque here. He says, that's why I got on the 2025 train for 2026 Street Fighter Alpha 2 and the GRSFU. Looks like although they are taking a while to get here, they're still the best bet in town. And that could very well be. And of course, here's the thing. If you're excited about them, that's always key. We got Jason Little Alien, moderator here, saying happy hump day. John Fritz wishing everybody a good evening. Mike, I already talked about you a second ago, but thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. We got Israel Gaming saying hello. We got Bobby 1ALU. Mike, what day is it? We all know it's hump day. Got Goofy Foot here as well. Always good to see you here. Goofy Foot. We got Bobby 1ALU here. Mike B again talking about Whopper Wednesday. Yes, I guess that's true too. It is Whopper Wednesday, isn't it? Fat Hog agrees. How could you not love Whoppers? Of course. Let's see. We got James Hates Everything here, whose chat I can actually see. Always amazing. For some reason, his chat seems to get hidden on the channel from time to time, and I have no idea why, but he's here today. We got B Kirby here saying hello as well. Let's see. Am I missing anybody, or is that everybody? Oh, we got Brooklyn Menace here. Always good to see Brooklyn, aka Gaming Menace. Be sure you check out Brooklyn's old/new channel. It's the same channel he's had. He just decided to give it a rename to Gaming Menace. So if you've been looking for Brooklyn Menace and you can't find him, be sure you check out his channel as Gaming Menace to better reflect some of the, more of the content that he does with gaming and all. Last week, the day Arcades Anonymous died. Oh, be nice to Arcades Anonymous. By the way, as usual, the show will redirect to them. So once we are done here, you can go over and check them out tonight. I don't think they're talking in television, so that might be a good thing. Here's a name I don't recognize. We got Crypto Coffee 13 here. Good to see you. We got Chip for Brains here as well. And Kurt the Daring. Another new name, Bren1791. And if these are old names that I'm just not recognizing, I apologize. But, YouTube does that weird thing now where it shows like your channel name instead of your alias name or whatever. So I apologize if these are names that I'm just not recognizing. Mike Hawkhurt's always good to see you here, buddy. Telling me to have a great stream. See, look. Do you want to join us for Super Gamers on Friday? I was going to ask Bill, but yeah, I can understand. Actually, I wouldn't have been able to do it anyway, Mike, because I'm actually going to my work's holiday party this Friday. Yes, after the holidays. We always wait till January to do it because everybody's so busy during the holidays that we usually wait until after everything has kind of calmed down, and that's when we get together and we're going to go out to a nice restaurant and all that kinds of fun stuff. So sorry, I wouldn't have been available anyway. And of course, Jason, thank you for putting this in the chat. I definitely appreciate that, of course. Crypto Coffee here says I had collected almost every basic fun mini cab. Only two I don't have is Oregon Trail and Breakout. I started seeing the updated MK cab last year. Tetris Pac-Man ones at Target. And of course, he's wondering how the quality will be with Basic Fun and Arcade 1-Up. I don't have high expectations. Join the club. None of us do. We do ours in July. I don't know if you're kidding or if you're serious about that. But I guess it wouldn't surprise me, really. All right. Anyway, let's dive in. Let's get into a couple of things because, like I said, believe it or not, I actually found some stuff to talk about. And yes, even though there was somewhat of a lull after CES, and let's be honest, even CES didn't have a ton of great gaming news coming out of it. But let's see what we got going on. Let me start with this. And I have absolutely no notes tonight, just a bunch of tabs open in Chrome. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully I remember everything that I wanted to talk about. All right, so I wanted to start with this because, again, coming out of CES, obviously, My Arcade was really the only company there showing anything really majorly gaming related. Yes, you had some companies like 8-Bit, though. They're showing off controllers and, PC manufacturers and things like that. But in the, in the kind of the gaming community where a lot of us live, My Arcade was really the only one. And this is a product, obviously, that came out last year, the Game Station Go. I know a lot of people have picked this up. A lot of people have really been enjoying this. Now, BJ's Wholesale Club had this at a great price right around Christmas time to pick up this with a case. Well, now they gotten to the point where they're actually on clearance, clearing these out. And if you haven't picked up one yet and you've got a BJ's Wholesale Club anywhere near you, or at least within possible shipping range, then you might want to go ahead and check this out because it's actually down to $99, which is an incredible $100, $99.98, which is an incredible deal for this. I'm actually considering picking it up myself. I don't know that. No, this is not the BJ's near me. That's on purpose. But I have to check the one that's near me and see if they still have any in stock or if there's any close to me that can actually do delivery. of this because I might actually, at that price, I don't know, I might actually consider it. I did just lay out a bunch of money on something new. Maybe I'll talk about that before the end of the show. But yeah, if you haven't picked this one up yet, this is definitely worth looking at for sure. Let me see what people are saying here. Enjoy your holiday party at Chili's. You're the top contender for several Dundee Awards. Let's see. John Frisk is down to 99. I paid 119, which is still a really good price, for sure. $99 at BJ's, no brainer. Includes a nice case. It's been fun. Yeah. Yes, Zim, I see your chat there. I said BJ's Wholesale Club. I was very, very clear about what I was talking about. Bobby 1ALU says his sold out at the 119 price. And of course, had a lot of fun with it. It's actually a nice build quality. Yeah, like I said, everybody who has talked about these has said pretty much good things about them. You know, a couple of quirks here and there. I know Mike wasn't a big fan of the Balls of Steel pinball games that are on it, but other than that, I think a lot of people really liked it. So, JJ says no BJ's in Texas, at least not near me. And when doing an online search of their main website, nothing came up for the Go. Yeah, like I said, they're on clearance, which probably means that they've sold them out in a lot of the stores, and they're just clearing out the stock that they've got left in other stores. As a matter of fact, let me bring this up too, because I saw this too, and I think I'm definitely gonna grab because it's just. I know a lot of people kind of crapped all over this thing, but at this price, I gotta at least try it at this price. And that's this thing right here. This little the casino player, the little kind of tabletop casino player. This thing was selling for $50 at one point. I'm sure this went down during the holidays. I don't know how much, but they're clearing this out at $10. All right, $10. Yeah, you know what? For $10, I'd grab this thing. What the hell? You know, even if it's not that great, you know, for the couple of games on it that might be fun at $10. Yeah, I'll probably pick this up. But I wanted to bring that up too really quick. Because again, why the hell not, right? Hey, look at this. Steve Sale. My buddy Steve Sale is here. Always good to see you, buddy. I'm hoping we can play a little Walkabout golf later on this week. I'm going to actually get into that in just a little bit too. I could tell you a funny story about that when my wife was first looking for the name of the store, and she was, let's just say she was very surprised by some of the sites that came up when she searched for it. I saw it at 19. I assume, John, first that you're talking about that little casino player that I just brought up at $19. Yeah. $19 is, is not a bad deal either, but at $10, I mean, like I said, it's kind of a no-brainer on that too. Stock Jock is here. Always good to see you. Are you going to make Arcades Anonymous talk about the Intellivision again this week? Or maybe Magnavox Odyssey. Maybe that's the next one you guys should do. Just kidding. Love you guys. You know I do. Ritual Dello is here. Evening. Hey, Big Bad Bill. I bought one of those casino plays for $10. It's worth it. See, he must have picked it up at his local BJ's Wholesale Club. Yep, absolutely. That's on the agenda to talk about tonight. Yeah, and this is true too. I've been seeing these. This I know my store has at least a couple of these left because I was just in there the other day. the $299 MK2 Deluxe deals. Again, good deal. If you've never gotten that cab from Arcade One Up, it's, for the most part, I do consider it one of their better ones. Obviously, games on there like Paperboy and whatever, who cares about? But in terms of, their deluxe cabs, definitely a good one for sure. All right, let's move on to the next thing because I want to talk about this really quick. This just came up today, and this is coming out tomorrow. For those of you who may still have some interest in AtGames and what they're doing, it's been a little while since their last table release. I think since before the holidays. So it's nice to see them have another release coming out. And this is Clown Deluxe coming out for the HD, the HDP, the 4K, the Mini, any machine that you have, this is going to be available for it. And they did actually send me a code earlier this evening. It's not going to be available to me until this actually releases tomorrow. So I'm hoping to get a chance to check this out tomorrow. Probably do a review of it by the weekend sometime. But I got to say that what I'm seeing of this, I actually like. I think this looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Definitely better than some of their recent releases. I mean, you've got, not flipper crazy. You got the two main ones down here. You've got an upper play field up here with two flippers. And I got to say, just from looking at the pictures of this, I do feel like they've done at least a halfway decent job making this feel like it's an upper play field. Like you can actually tell it's, higher up than the main play field on it, because sometimes the depth just isn't great on these Magic Pixel Zaccaria or Zaccaria. I always forget how to pronounce it. Tables. I know a lot of people pronounce it Zaccaria. But this actually doesn't look too bad. Looks like there's a lot of fun. I was watching like a little gameplay video that AtGames sent me earlier to check out as well. And the shout outs sound like they're a lot of fun on this. There's multiple voices, not just one. And there's definitely some fun references in it, even to other Zaccaria tables in the shout outs on it. This looks pretty cool here. Like right across the middle of the table, you've got this tightrope here with the clown or whatever on a unicycle going back and forth. So there's some really neat little stuff in here. We'll have to see how it plays, but it looks like it could be a lot of fun. Let me see. I think I can get away with playing this video. Let me turn the sound down on it. Hang on a minute. Let me bring it up full screen and start over. So just to show you guys a little bit of how it looks or how it plays on this. So you can see that little tightrope rider. I guess I can't really say walker because they're on a unicycle. But it looks like it looks like this one could be a lot of fun. So I'm kind of looking forward to checking this one out. Michael B says nightmare fuel. Well, see, now that's the funny thing, because you look at how whimsical this clown is. And like, on the table and stuff, it looks colorful. It looks fun, right? Look at the goddamn art for the pack. If that ain't some Pennywise looking mofo on this art for the thing, I mean, I'm sorry. That right there is nightmare fuel. Like, my daughter won't go anywhere near this table. She hates clowns. Clowns freak her out. But that is scary AF compared to how like cute and whimsical the table itself looks. So I don't know what they're trying to do there, but it's kind of a weird juxtaposition. Still, I'm looking forward to checking it out. It looks like it could be a lot of fun. Oh, look, we got MG here as well. MG, do you still have your wrench? I hope you do. I can't tell from the chat here. It's Wednesday. It's AA Live. Let's go. Oh, wait, I got the wrong show. Sorry, later. Retro Ben. Thanks. Nice. You know what? Just for that, I might have to take your wrench away, you bastard. Oh. Let me see. Do you? Oh, you do. You still have your wrench. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I may have to rethink that. Let's see what else we got going on here. We got Bring on the Clowns. Clowns everywhere. Brooklyn says this is right up my alley. JJ, not a fan of clowns. You prefer the evil clowns. But again, I mean, isn't that weird though? How the art for the pack has that like creepy looking clown on it, but the table itself looks all just cute and whimsical. I don't know. Just come and get some candy, kids. I don't know. Just really weird. Yeah. Guess the AI got confused making the art. Can you say it? Do I think AtGames will do a 4K puck this year? I have absolutely no idea. If I was a betting person, I wouldn't necessarily bet on it. I don't see the point to it. Why? What? Why? I mean, they're not. They've got an HD puck that's capable of playing the HD pinball games, and they don't put the HD pinball games on it. What are they going to do with a 4K puck? They've got no 4K games unless they're pinball games, and what are you going to put on it? And are they going to be able to license the Zen ones to put on that device? I don't know. I mean, we'll have to wait and see, but if I was putting money down on it, I would probably say no. I will say this. I certainly have not heard anything that would lead me to believe they're doing it, but I could be wrong. They could surprise everybody at some point later this year. Who knows? But anyway, let's move on. I got a little bit of Nintendo news for you guys. You want to hear some Nintendo news? How about this? So it looks like Nintendo is going to be ending their game voucher program. Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this or if anybody's ever taken advantage of this, but the basic idea here is that you bought a game voucher from Nintendo for $100, and then you could get two of their, and I think it was just first party. You can get two of their first party games digitally with the game vouchers. And that was great for when you consider the fact that they did have a handful of games come out for the original Switch, like Tears of the Kingdom, that were retailing for $60. So you could basically buy it with this voucher and get $10 off of the game. Especially when you consider that the first party games didn't really go on sale very often. So it was kind of an easy way to get a couple of games on sale if you wanted to, as long as you were willing to pony up the $100 and you didn't mind buying them digitally instead of having physical copies. Now, they'd already said that they weren't going to extend this program into the Switch 2. But now they're ending it altogether as of the end of this month. Let me see if I can blow this up a little bit and just kind of go through this. It says Nintendo is discontinuing the sale of Switch game vouchers, a program that allowed Nintendo Switch Online members to get a discount on first-party Switch games by purchasing 2 game vouchers for $100. Well, existing vouchers will remain valid. So if you already bought some, or if you buy some before the end of the month, you'll still be able to use them. No new vouchers will be sold after January 30th, 2026. With precious few discounts available for first-party Switch games, Nintendo game vouchers allowed players to save a little cash by purchasing the 2 vouchers for $100, saving $10 per game as long as both were $60 titles. While the program had a few caveats, including a 1-year expiry and the requirement of an active Nintendo Switch Online membership, it offered a reliable discount on first-party games, so on and so forth. So, yeah, it looks like they are completely discontinuing this right now. So, like I said, if you already have, if you already have a voucher or, any of these vouchers and you haven't used them yet, you'll still have a chance to use them. They're not gonna just auto expire at the end of the month. But you're not gonna be able to buy any new ones, which kind of sucks for anybody who was enjoying this program, such as Bobby One ALU here, who says bummer was a nice benefit for their membership plan. Yep. So that's the end of that program. Now, I did want to talk about something else in terms of Nintendo, because a lot of you are probably aware of the fact that this year marks the 40th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda. Now, there have been a ton of rumors going around that, regarding what Nintendo was going to do for the 40th anniversary. Now, one of the biggest rumors has been a remake of Ocarina of Time. And not just, a like an HD upgrade or, like they did with the 3DS version. I mean, yes, that was in 3D on the 3DS, but it was still kind of a visual upgrade. They did kind of bump up the textures and things like that on it. But a complete rehaul of the game, maybe even in like Unreal Engine or something like that. So, like I said, there's been a bunch of rumors that was going to happen. And unfortunately, it looks like those rumors have been debunked, which is kind of a shame. So it says here, the Legend of Zelda 40th anniversary remake plans just took a big hit. So The Legend of Zelda turns 40 this year, marking 4 decades since the debut of the first game in 1986. Fans are expecting Nintendo to celebrate in a big way, with long-awaited remasters of Twilight Princess and Wind Waker on Switch 2 seeming like viable options. While nothing's confirmed yet, rumors and leaks keep swirling online, but at least one aspect of those plans took a major hit this week. And one of the most prominent rumors online has been that Nintendo will celebrate Zelda's 40th anniversary with a remake of Ocarina of Time. It is arguably the best game in the series with a storied legacy since it originally launched on the N64, and its reputation has only grown since a 3DS remake came out in 2011. Over on X, popular insider Nate the Hate was asked about the Ocarina of Time remake, and the answer was, well, disappointing. Moving down, it says when he was asked about it, he replied, not even a whisper. Sad news for anyone hoping for a remake to be in the works, since presumably an insider like Nate the Hate would have heard about it, even an inkling of it, if it were true. So unfortunately, that sounds like that rumor may not be happening. Let's see. Jason says, would have been nice for them to put out the Zelda movie this year for the 40th, and the Super Mario Galaxy movie should have been put off. I would agree with that. I think it would have made a lot of sense for the Zelda movie to make it out this year for the 40th anniversary, 100%. But beyond that, like, what could they possibly be doing to celebrate the 40th? Now, again, another big rumor has obviously been re-releases of Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. I think we could see them do it Mario Galaxy style. I think we're probably going to get a double pack release of pretty much the HD versions that came out a couple of years ago for Twilight Princess and Wind Waker, just re-released for Switch 2. I have a sneaking suspicion that's probably the most we can hope for from them, especially if they're not going to do something like big and extravagant, like a complete remake of Ocarina of Time. So you got to figure if they were going to do a full-on remake of that, not just an HD update or just a simple re-release or whatever, they probably would have had to have been working on it for a couple of years in order for it to be ready to get out. And if people who are pretty big like Nate the Hate in the rumor mill for Nintendo aren't hearing anything about it, I would tend to believe it's probably not happening, which sucks because, like I said, I think that it'd be great if they would do something big, really big for the Zelda 40th anniversary. And I don't know that just a re-release of games that they've already re-released a couple of times is enough to do it. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Wind Waker's already on Switch 2 on the for the GameCube with the Nintendo Switch Online, right? They could certainly release Twilight Princess as well on there. I don't see why not. So just to re-release them and have them in like a one pack where you get both games, like I said, like they just did with Mario Galaxy. I mean, maybe they'll do some minor updates to it, some quality of life improvements and things like that. But I don't know. I don't know if that's enough. Wow. Oh, that's one of the console Zelda games I never played through. It is really good. It is really good. I've played it a bunch of times. I'll be honest. I don't know if I ever actually got all the way through it. I think I get so far and then I get a little frustrated and I just kind of stop. But it really is a good game. It would be amazing if they remastered the first two Zelda games, allowing for widescreen views and other quality of life improvements, and then release them on physical as well. That would be pretty cool if they re-released 1 and 2, yeah, and did that. That would actually be pretty cool because that's something we don't really see them doing. I mean, again, yes, can you play Legend of Zelda and Zelda 2 Adventures of Link on the Switch Online, like you did back in the on the NES? Yeah, but to see those get a little bit of an upgrade, like you said, Jason, with widescreen support, with quality of life improvements, I think I'll tell you what would really be cool. Talking about doing like a full on remake. Take that game engine that they used for what was it, Link's Awakening, and the new the Zelda led game, that Wisdom of whatever the heck it was called. That one that just came out recently. That yeah, I'm drawing a blank. Somebody will tell me in the chat. Use that engine and redo the first game in that engine. That would be really cool. That would actually be really cool. Remastered titles are doing really well in the marketplace right now. Hades 2 on Switch 2 is amazing, and it's a huge game. Yeah, I know you're a big fan of that game, Brooklyn. You've been playing that a lot on your channel, right? Yeah, the Dragon Quest HD remakes, those things are amazing looking. They're fantastic. Is Ocarina? Yes, it is. I will say this: the emulation on it isn't perfect. Although they've made some improvements to it, there's still some screwy things with the N64 emulation on Switch, like the fog effects, which admittedly fog effects in N64 were there to hide uh, uh draw distance more than anything, but it's still such a part of the game, and some of the look of like the water and the I think it's the water temple. And also it's not perfect, but it's definitely playable, and it's still a fun game to play through. Again, I keep picking it up and then not going back to it. I gotta get all the way through that game one of these days for sure. Yeah, man, over 3 weeks in, and it's still going for Hades too. Yeah, man, you've been playing that game a lot, guys. Check out Brooklyn's channel if you want to watch him play through Hades 2 for sure. Yeah, yep. And it took me a while, but I was able to get one of the N64 controllers that work with the Switch 2 to play the N64 games, and it makes such a difference than trying to play with one of the never mind the Joy Cons, even just like a normal gamepad. It just feels right, you know. All right, let's do a little VR news, because I got a couple of VR things that I want to talk about too, and we'll start with this. My buddy Steve brought this up earlier, so I wanted to talk about this. Any of you guys that are fans of Walkabout Golf, we've got a new course coming out tomorrow, and I'm super excited for this. Let me pull this up and play it. And yeah, I'm going to keep the sound down on it, but this looks like it's going to be a really fun course. So I'm super excited to check this one out. I said this drops tomorrow. Walkabout Golf, if you're on Meta, or I think even like PlayStation probably has it as well. But yeah, that one looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm super excited to check this one out for sure. So that's Tiki a Coco, the new course for Walkabout Golf, dropping tomorrow, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun for sure. Happy to see another tropical themed course. Yeah, look, as long as it's not a lair, as long as it's not one of their lair courses, I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. Although, as I think it was Goofy Foot put this in our meta chat where we talk about, playing golf and stuff like that. I think he said it was either there or Discord. I can't remember. He's talking about, oh, good lava. I'm sure I'll hit my ball into that multiple times. And yeah, I'm sure I'll probably do the same thing. It's just like getting into the water on some of the courses where they've got like the water hazards. Oh, but it does look really cool. Looks like a lot of fun. So I'm psyched to check that out. Now that's some good news when it comes to VR. Unfortunately, there's some bad news related to VR, specifically to Meta as well, that's come up this week. So I wanted to share this with you guys too. And this says Meta shuts down the studios behind Deadpool VR, Asgard's Wrath 2, and Resident Evil 4 VR. Some of their biggest games. I mean, the Deadpool game literally just came out like not even like a month or so ago. I actually picked it up over the Christmas break when Meta had their sale. They had this knockdown $10. It was normally $50. It was down to $40. Figured at that price, what the heck? So I checked. So I picked. I have not had a chance to play it yet, but it is definitely on my list for one to play. But yeah, this is really weird. It looks like, according to this here, Meta has shut down 3 of Oculus Studios' internal developers. New reporting has revealed Twisted Pixel Games, Cinzaro Games, and Amateur Studios have all been impacted. Outlets such as the New York Times indicate the cuts were coming to Meta's Reality Labs business, which encompasses first-party VR game development. On Tuesday, developers from the 3 aforementioned studios posted on X and other social media websites indicating that they had lost their jobs, which is never a good thing. Certainly not something you want to hear from people, is about them losing their jobs. They've confirmed that the entirety of Twisted Pixel Games, Cinzaro Games, and Amateur Studios were impacted as part of this round of Meta layoffs. The cuts were made so the company could focus on wearables like the Ray-Ban Meta AI glasses. So let me talk about this a little bit, because I did catch up on some other YouTubers who are bigger in, the Meta VR space and some other things like this. So it looks like there's a couple of things going on here. First off, here's something interesting. Apparently, is that one of the studios was actually well into development on a Harry Potter game for VR that was supposed to come out this year, and it looks like that's been completely shelved. Like, they're not going to do that game because of these studio cuts and layoffs. So, a big name IP like Harry Potter, and they're not going to do a game for it. Now, you got to wonder why is Meta doing this? Why are they shuttering these studios? And just remember, these are studios that Meta uh, owns or whatever. This does not affect third party studios that are developing games and things like that outside of Meta and whatever. This is just their internal things. And this article hinted at it, and I think there's a lot of truth to this. It sounds to me like they're looking to scale back their own game development, let other companies make games for it, to focus more on the hardware end of things. Now, Meta's obviously been all in on their the AI wearables with the Meta Ray-Bans. They just came out with their third generation Meta Ray-Bans that actually have a display in them, which I have yet to check out. I really want to go check those out. I've got the ones with the camera and the speaker and everything in them. No display or anything, and they're pretty cool for what they are. If you watch a lot of my shorts that I do, especially when I'm doing like gameplay, I just did put a short up for playing the new Cyberpunk 2077 arcade game at Round One, which, by the way, a lot of fun. If you ever see that game in the wild, absolutely check it out. It's such, I know I'm getting off topic, but I'll circle back to the Meta thing in a second. The Cyberpunk game is so cool because you're holding a physical gun that actually shoots BBs at a screen, and it's designed, I guess it's got impact sensors on it so it can tell where it hits, and it's a target game. Everything, it's all these little targets that come up, and you've got to knock down all the targets on each round, and then some targets come up, some targets are like people that you've got to save. You got to like shoot the people around them. You can get upgrades like a machine gun that you just hold the trigger down and it just fires pop, 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 pop. You can extend time, you can hit bombs and all kinds of stuff. You get snipers that shoot back at you. It's so cool. If you haven't seen the YouTube short that I put up, check it out. Because it's just such a neat play mechanic. As opposed to, like, say, a light gun game where you're just kind of sorry about that, where you're just kind of aiming at the screen and shooting, and yeah, you get like feedback and recoil and stuff in those, but this has definitely a more tactile sense to it, playing the game. But back to Meta. So I think that they're focusing more, Cyberpunk arcade game, I gotta say, it's cool. Like I said, if you go to like a Dave and Buster's or a Round One, or any of those places that have some of the the newer games and whatever, absolutely look for it and check it out. But again, I think Meta is probably trying to focus more on the hardware. Again, their AI glasses technology. There's been rumors for a while that they are working on the next iteration of the MetaQuest headset, whether that's going to be the Quest 4 or something else. We'll have to wait and see. But I think they are trying to go all in more on the hardware and put more time and more resources into that, and scale back the software development. That's at least what seems what's going on. So this might not necessarily be a bad thing, although it sucks. Obviously, it sucks to see people lose their jobs, to see these development studios go out, especially when you consider that some of these were bought up by Meta just recently, like within the last year or two. So they haven't really owned them uh, in a while. And then, of course, you've got big name games like Deadpool and Asgard's Wrath that have come out of these studios. So hopefully these people land somewhere else and they can continue to develop some great games. Oh boy, Deadpool VR is so freaking good, but you have to play it with all the comfort settings off. Uh, I'll be honest with you. I love. I'm still playing through the Batman game. I just don't spend a lot of time on it because usually when I put the VR on, it's to play either the pinball effects or Walkabout. I got to spend more time on the Batman, and I love that game. But that one, I can only play it for so long, and then I start to feel it a little bit. Deadpool looks just so frantic that I'm hoping I'll be okay with it, or either that or I'm just gonna have to play it in short bursts. Yeah, well, see, that's the other thing. Maybe studios can start making games for the upcoming Valve VR headset. I think maybe Meta's looking at that and I don't want to say panicking. But I think they're thinking maybe they've got to up their game in the hardware sense to compete, and that could be part of the reason why they're doing this a little bit. And this is you're talking about the Cyberpunk game. Fun experience play. Yeah, it really is cool. It will never happen. It'll never happen. Yeah, if you couldn't handle Batman, wait till you try Deadpool. Yeah, that's what concern. I think ultimately I'll be all right with it. But seeing how fast paced it is, it does concern me. That concerns me about the new Ninja Turtles game too, because that looks similar. When that comes out, but I'm all in on that one too. I can't wait for that to come out. That's a day one for me on the Ninja Turtles one too. All righty, where are we? We're winding down, but I do want to talk about basic fun just a little bit, especially Video Game Vegas, since you just brought up basic fun. Thank you for a nice segue there. But I do want to talk about just a couple of things real quick. And I know a lot of you guys have seen this already, but let me throw my hat in the ring on this one too. And that's this. Yes, they've released a new cab, but certainly not the one that I think people were excited or interested to see come out. And of course, this is the Arcade Classics Pac-Man Jr. series. Supposedly made for the kiddies. I don't know. Especially when you compare it to the one that Arcade came out with a few years ago. The fact that thing was just this big, like molded plastic and whatever. This thing looks like it's got some edges to it. I don't know if that would be a problem or not. I'll be honest. I don't know what the point of this particular machine is, especially at this price point at $330. This, I don't know, $150, $200 maybe max for something like this. Having that little tiny 8-inch screen in it, I don't really quite get why you would do that. Other than a cost-cutting measure, but then why is it still $330? Comes with 3 games. You get Pac-Man, Dig Dug, Galaga, so only a couple of games on it. I don't know, are the kiddies are the kiddies going to be excited for those 3 games? I don't know. What do you guys think? What's in the cup, Bill? Oh, hey Mo, how you doing, brother? Always good to have you here. It's a little, it's liquid refreshment. It's been, You have to understand. This is the first week in 3 weeks since the holidays that I've actually had to work 5 days in a row. I need this, and it's only halfway through the week. But thanks for being here, brother. I always appreciate it. What an abomination. Yeah, I could not agree more on this. Pac-Man Junior Cap without Junior Pac-Man is a travesty. Excuse me a minute. Sorry, I had a little bit of a tickle there. I think I'm just choking on this whole the whole idea of this thing. If I'm being quite honest with you, you can see the dimensions on this here. I know a lot of people have talked about this, so I really don't want to spend a ton of time on it. I just wanted to kind of bring it up real quick and talk about it and get your guys' feedback. Video Game Vegas, you're never going to see Junior Pac-Man. I don't think, unless something crazy happens with the licensing of that game at some point in the future. That thing is held up somewhere out there in the ether, in time and space, and trying to get the licensing worked out for that particular game for whatever reason is apparently a nightmare, which is a shame because it would kind of it sucks that game can't be and hasn't been released, because just for any of us or any of you guys who've got these Pac-Man machines, you've got Pac-Man, you've got Ms. Pac-Man, not being able to have Junior Pac-Man just feels like you're missing something from your collection, in my personal opinion. And I would love to see it come out one day. I know a lot of people kind of are down on that game a little bit because it's probably the hardest of the Pac-Man games, but it's so interesting with that scrolling screen and everything on it. It would be great to see that come out. If parents have the money, they will get anything for their children and their dog that they want. While I don't disagree with that, John Jay, I don't know, like, you go into a store and, you'll first off, you're not going to see these in stores. Let's put it that way. Or you, not really. I mean, yes, it's on the Target website. Will it show up in Target stores? Will it show up on Walmart stores? Maybe. Walmart likes these smaller cabs. So is it always a possibility that they might pick it up? But I don't know. If your kid had the choice between that or a Switch with Donkey Kong Bonanza and Mario Kart on it, which one do you think that they're gonna want more? And yes, I know the Switch with the game, I know that's more expensive than this, but are they really? Is some little kid going into a Walmart or a Target and saying, "Ooh, I want that," versus some other game or toy on the shelf? I don't know. Could be completely wrong. The baby cakes were still being given away for free at Job Lot all through the summer. Not sure who wants this. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see if these do any well. Now, Basic Fun, I do feel like in some ways they're kind of in that testing phase of let's see what we can put out there. Hi, son. Oh, Mr. Encoder, always good to see you, brother. I'm glad you made it. I do think that Basic Fun is kind of a little bit in kind of a testing phase of just, what can they throw out there and see how it does. And if it doesn't do well, they maybe they won't revisit it. So either this does really well and we see more of these junior cabs in the future, or it sells below expectations and this is the one and only one that they do. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. And yes, Junior Pac-Man was made by the same guys who did Ms. Pac-Man originally. That what the heck was that? GCG or whatever the company was, the ones that, they started out doing a Pac-Man hack, that then turned into Ms. Pac-Man, wound up selling it to, I believe, Bally Midway, and then tasked with making another game, and that was what Junior Pac-Man turned into. But then you got to remember, over the years, that company has gone out. Thank you. GCE. That's it. Thank you. That's no more. GCE. AtGames kind of threw their hand in the mix, and they bought up the licenses for Ms. Pac-Man, and I believe Junior Pac-Man was sort of in there as well. But there's more. There's more to that game than just Bally. It's not just Bally Midway that owns it, or they may not even really own it anymore, even though they had the rights to it at one point. So, and the only reason I know this is because back in my early days of starting YouTube, a couple of years ago, I did a video on Junior Pac-Man, missing from the arcade one-up lineup and whatever, and it was the first time I had actually tried to reach out to John D to talk to him. I had reached out to him on LinkedIn, and I kind of introduced myself and said, "Hey, I'm making this video. I'm just curious what the deal is with this. I know a little bit about the licensing on it and whatever." And he pretty much confirmed that he pretty much said at that point it's basically a licensing nightmare and not something that they could swing. So that's why I base it on that. Now, again, things change over the years. Who knows what could possibly happen? But the fact that nobody's tackled it yet leads me to believe that it's still a hard one to get nailed down. So that's why I bring that up. Now, if somebody knows more than me, I'm certainly not an expert on it, but that's my understanding of it. Let's see. I really like Kevin, but if he buys anything for Spreetail, this seems like the exact thing he wanted to avoid. I don't know. I mean, like I said, it's on Amazon and all that kind of stuff. So, I got to be honest, I haven't really been following them super close, Steve. Wonderland hasn't even shipped Alice yet. So much for being a starter member. See, again, having problems with imports, high cost they didn't expect. Yeah, I'm sure that's that is a big part of it. Mr. Encoder's waiting on his too. But yeah, and hopefully that's something that they can get worked out soon. I know a lot of people are very interested. A lot of people are waiting on that, and hopefully they continue to at least get some information out to the backers and go from there. All right, let me do one last thing because it's 9 o'clock already, and this is probably the one thing that most people have been waiting for me to maybe talk about tonight. So before you guys decide to head on over to Arcades Anonymous, let's talk about this for a second. Some of you may have seen this already. Couple of things here before I get started. First off, I did see a post early today on Facebook in one of the Basic Fun groups talking about this marketplace listing, and then I completely lost it. I couldn't find it again. So I want to give a huge shout out and a hat tip to Michael B. the Game Genie, who did a video on this and then actually linked to this marketplace listing on his Discord, and also to the Cornercade, who also did a video about this and actually wound up reaching out to this guy, Patrick Johnson, whose post this is, to try to find out a little bit more about this. So I am going to I'm going to tell you, because I actually know the answer to this. And again, it's actually, believe it or not, it's thanks to the Cornercade who reached out to him. So apparently, so for those of you who don't know, this is the Wrestlefest Supreme. This is the other version of Wrestlefest after the Ultra that was supposed to come out last year, got pushed back, is maybe hopefully coming out some point this year. This is the larger cabinet at like 68 or so inches tall. It's got a 19-inch screen on it, 4-player deck, some additional features like the coin door, the speaker covers and things like that the Ultra didn't have. Seems like it plays the same games, the same ROMs, at least this version does, that the Ultra did. Now, to answer the question of where this came from, apparently this guy Patrick Johnson works for some kind of publication. I don't know if it's an online website or if it's like an actual physical magazine or whatever, but this was sent to him to be a part of an article that he was writing for whatever, in whatever kind of publication it is that he works for. So this guy's actually a journalist, I guess, who writes about these kind of things. And they sent him this version for review, and he's turning around and selling it. So I don't know how ethical that may or may not be. I don't know. But apparently that's where this came from. I'm saying how you get it's quite journalism, but he'll get and to be honest with you, that's kind of how it went down, Mystery Encoder, if I'm being quite honest. Denny got a letter from the guy. It might end up at the corner. Yeah, he was saying something about it being like a 12-hour drive, but like it wouldn't surprise me if he if he makes the drive. This guy's in Mason, Wisconsin, supposedly up in the boonies of Mason, Wisconsin, like far away from a lot of people and whatever. But there's some information on here. It's all the stuff that we pretty much know about WrestleFest. Like I said, 68 inches high, 19-inch screen. Says BOE screen. The BOE brand being reported by an independent source, which is odd. This guy's supposed to be a journalist. He didn't like crack it open and look. Stereo speakers with grill covers, faux coin door, 4-player, larger light up marquee. It says more games typically than other models in the lineup, but he doesn't list what games are actually on this. So I don't know if it has games other than the ones that are, James says it's less than 6 hours for him. Yeah, he could make it. We'll see. Wrestlefest Supreme series expected to retail for approximately $600 when it launches in 2026. This guy's selling this version for $800. I guess he figures he's got a premium thing here with this being you got to remember, this is one that was sent for review. This might not even be a final production unit, which would make it, I guess, sort of special. And then there's a little bit of video here. See if I can just bring this up here. So there's a little bit of video of it. Again, just showing the main game on it. And yeah, I think that's a friend of this guy's trying to touch the screen. No, it's not a touch screen on this. It's a regular screen, just like, any of the games. I don't know why the guy, I guess, people just assume everything's a touch screen nowadays, but this kind of gives us a look at what the actual WrestleFest is going to look like, the Supreme version or XL, whatever it actually turns out to be when this thing actually comes out. And if you're anywhere near Mason, Wisconsin, and you want to get this thing, as of right now, it apparently is still available. Now, I know Mike was saying on his video, just to kind of just about this particular guide. Now, yes, he did join Facebook fairly recently, back in 2025, and he does not have a lot of content on his Facebook page. He's got like no posts, just this picture here, a handful of friends on Facebook. Usually that would be a red flag. However, you notice that it says here very responsive on Marketplace. He's actually sold quite a few things. Look, here's all his listings on Facebook Marketplace. So he sold quite a few things on here. I wonder if these are all things he's gotten to review for whatever publication he works for. So I have a funny feeling he's joined Facebook strictly to sell crap on Marketplace. If I'm being quite honest, I don't think this guy has any plans to, like, use it for any kind of real social media or anything like that. I think he just likes to sell stuff on Marketplace, and that's why he's got a Facebook post. So I wouldn't put too much worry into, hey, this guy, is scamming people or whatever. Who knows? You're always a little bit concerned, like I said, when you see somebody that's kind of brand new on there and then they're selling something like this. But guys, there you go. That's a look at what the upcoming Wrestlefest cab is going to look like. That's all right. I totally understand. Go check them out. I'm almost done anyway, guys. I'm pretty much at the end here, but I did want to bring that up. I did want to show that to you guys, for those of you who didn't see it. When the show's done, I'm going to put links to all the articles of everything that I showed today, and I will have a link to that Marketplace ad in the description of the video. So if you want to go, you want to look at it for yourself, you want to take a closer look at the pictures, you want to reach out to this guy, whatever you want to do, feel free to do it, of course. But that's it, guys. So for something of a slow news week, especially in the home arcade scene, there really wasn't much of anything. I did find a few things to talk about tonight, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys had some fun, got something out of it for sure. But that's going to do it for this one. I'm going to wrap things up here. I thank you guys so much for joining me. Like I said, I will have a redirect, so you guys can go ahead and bombard Arcades Anonymous after this if you want. If not, on your merry way, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. And I do have a couple of things planned for the foreseeable future. Like I said, I'm probably going to do a video on that new AtGames table, that Circus Deluxe. It does look like a lot of fun, so I'm excited to check that out. I also did pick up something recently that should be here, and thank you for that, Jason. I appreciate that for sure. I did pick up something that will be here probably by this weekend. I finally bit the bullet and bought myself the arcade to TV VR blah 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 control panel, that big long name control panel. Now I will say this to you guys. I'm going to say the same thing in any videos that I make about it. I was reaching out to X Arcade. I was trying to see if they would send me a review unit. I know they've sent several content creators review units. I think I missed the boat on that. They've kind of scaled back on doing that at this point. However, they did offer me specifically a 50% discount on it. So I did buy the that X Arcade VR control panel with a 50% discount. And that was definitely a deciding factor in going ahead and get it. I also, while I was at it, I pre-ordered the haptics kit, which will come out for me. I believe it gets released sometime in April, so I'll have that in a couple of months as well. So look for content on that. I'm going to be probably doing a review of that. Eventually, when I get the haptics kit, I'll be talking about that. Definitely keeping an eye out for Glenn's Viper board that's supposed to be made to go with it, because I want to pick up one of those to go with it too and check all that out. So that's something that's coming up, as well as a couple of little YouTube shorts and different things that I want to put out as well. So I got a few things in the works and planned. And if nothing else, should be back here next Wednesday. So I hope you guys will too. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Like I said, head on over to Arcades Anonymous if that's what you plan on doing. And I will see you guys next week. In the meantime, take care and happy gaming.